Feng Shui can kill. It can take a life without leaving a trace, sever a family's bloodline, and doom a person to an untimely death. Feng Shui can also nurture. It can lift a person to dazzling heights, grant wealth in all directions, and bring prosperity in both fortune and descendants. Feng Shui can even nourish the dead. A corpse hidden within an auspicious cavern can ascend beyond the mortal world, undergo shijie, a corpse-transcendence transformation, and join the celestial ranks. You may choose not to believe in fate. You may choose not to believe in Feng Shui. But throughout thousands of years of Huaxia civilization, generation after generation of emperors and nobles have been obsessed with the art of kanyu, the geomantic science of reading heaven and earth. If you work tirelessly, never shy away from hardship, yet still have no money in your pocket, if you are handsome and come from a privileged family, yet find yourself alone at 30, if your life is riddled with misfortune, your mind clouded, your luck barren and declining, if such things happen, then either your fate is flawed, or the feng shui of your home is broken. Li Chengfeng's great grandmaster was once the foremost feng shui diviner of the Imperial Astronomical Bureau during the Qing Dynasty. His grandfather, Li Tiansheng, was also a renowned feng shui master, skilled in yang feng shui. Qimen Dunjia, a metaphysical system of divination involving time and spatial configurations. Meihua Yishu, a numerological divination art, and various folk esoteric methods. Li Chengfeng grew up under his grandfather's care. Since childhood, he had been deeply influenced by the old man's teachings, developing a strong fascination with Qimen feng shui and folk magic. Though only 22, he had already attained notable mastery in feng shui, physiognomy, and secret folk arts. Inheriting the true lineage of his grandfather, in the coastal city of Qingzhou, his grandfather once ran a small place called Shui Hall, where he interpreted dreams, chose auspicious names, analyzed written characters, assessed feng shui, treated strange illnesses, mended marriages, and handled matters of both the yin and yang realms. His reputation spread far, and people came from all around seeking his guidance. Some sought marriage, some came for career prospects, some for feng shui, some for disaster warding, and others for inexplicable ailments. But as age caught up with him, and compounded by his disability, he closed Suyuan Hall 2 years ago, no longer reading fortunes, nor advising on destiny. He bought a small farmhouse in a coastal fishing village and retreated into a quiet pastoral life. Li Chengfeng struggled to find employment. To make things worse, the girlfriend he had dated for 2 years left him for a wealthy heir's luxury car. The blow was devastating. One evening, after failing yet another job interview, Li Chengfeng bought 3 bottles of strong liquor, 2 pounds of pork head meat, and a few ready-made side dishes, then returned to his grandfather's home. 2 cups of fiery liquor in, he finally voiced the thought buried in his heart. "Grandpa, I want to reopen Suyan Hall." "No," his grandfather refused instantly. Without hesitation, he did not want his grandson walking the same path. With the only eye he had left, he looked at the young man with a complex gaze. "Feng, look at what your grandfather has become. If you don't want to end up like this, don't ever bring up reopening Suiyuan Hall again." Seeing his grandfather's broken body, Li Chengfeng drew in a deep breath. The old man was disabled, one-eyed, missing a leg. He always said it was because he had revealed too many celestial secrets, helping people defy their destined fate, and had thus been punished by heaven. Growing up at his grandfather's side, Li Chengfeng had witnessed each instance of that so-called heavenly punishment. He had watched with his own eyes as a once healthy man was transformed into a cripple. His grandfather downed another cup of liquor in one gulp. Sighing, he opened the floodgates of memory and called his grandson by his childhood nickname. "Feng, I forbid you from taking this path because it's for your own good. Those in our line of work, those who reveal too many secrets of heaven, never meet a good end. I don't want anything to happen to you. I hope you can live as an ordinary man. Marry a wife, have children, and live a simple, peaceful life." As he spoke, He drifted into stories about Li Jinshan, the great grandmaster. Li Chengfeng perked up immediately, poured his grandfather another cup, and listened quietly. The old man sipped his drink, his expression sinking into distant memories. The story began at the end of the Qing dynasty. In the dynasty's final years, Li Jinshan, then the chief astronomer of the Imperial Bureau, gazed upon the stars at night and discovered that the Ziwei Emperor star was sinking westward. Heaven's ordained lifespan for the dynasty had reached its limit. The Qing was beyond salvation. Knowing the empire would soon collapse, he donned Taoist robes and fled the capital before the turmoil began. Wandering from place to place, before long his money ran out. He set up a small street stall to earn a meal reading characters, telling fortunes, assessing Fengshui, and writing letters for the illiterate. But in those chaotic, famine-ridden times, people barely survived from one meal to the next, who had spare coins for fortune telling. Thus, his days on the run grew agonizing. He often went hungry, and in fear of being identified as a former Qing official, he could only hide constantly. He did not know how long he wandered before reaching Qinzhou. His Taoist robe was in tatters. He looked like a beggar. He had not eaten in days. His stomach stuck to his back. Desperate for food, he cast aside all concerns about revealing his identity. Crouching by the roadside, he scratched words onto a stone: dream interpretation, character divination, physiognomy, Feng Shui, yin-yang inquiries, and predictions of destiny. For 2 days and nights, not a single customer appeared. At last, he fainted from hunger on the street. The foremost Feng Shui master of the Qing dynasty had fallen so low. How pitiful fate could be. Just when he seemed destined to die on the roadside, luck turned. He was rescued by Chen Tinghai, a wealthy and influential local merchant. When Li Jinshan awakened, he found himself lying on a soft bed, attended by 2 graceful young maids. A table beside him overflowed with meats and delicacies. Starving for so long, he devoured the food before finally meeting his benefactor. The 2 men hit it off instantly, and Li Jinshan stayed at the Chen estate, where Chen Tinghai served him fine wine and rich food every day. Half a year passed. Living off the Chen family's generosity weighed heavily on Li Jinshan, who could not understand why Chen Tinghai was treating him with such extravagant hospitality for so long. He assumed he had encountered a rare philanthropist. One night, after several rounds of wine, Chen Tinghai finally revealed the sorrow in his heart. "My good friend, though I possess great wealth, I have passed 40 years of age with neither son nor daughter. Why? Why has heaven treated me this way?" Li Jinshan was astonished. He had already studied Chen's physiognomy. According to his facial features, Chen should not be wealthy. His fate indicated a life of toil under the influence of a 7 killings star. Yet here he was, rich beyond measure. More importantly, his descendant palace suggested he should have 2 sons and 1 daughter. A man fated for poverty now possessed immense wealth. A man destined for 3 children now had none. His fate had clearly been altered. Having lived freely off the Chen family for half a year, Li Jinshan felt indebted and developed genuine sympathy. He decided to help uncover the truth. "Brother Chen, based on your physiognomy, you should have a house full of children. How could you be without a single heir? Something in your fate must have shifted." "You can read faces?" Chen Tinghai asked in feigned surprise. Li Jinshan smiled modestly. "I know a little." The next day, he examined the Feng Shui of the Chen residence. Finding no issues with the home's geomancy, he concluded the problem must lie in the ancestral Yin burial grounds. Chen Tinghai led him to the family gravesite, and the moment Li Jinshan saw it, he was stunned. "This is a gold hidden beneath the pillow Feng Shui formation. You truly have a keen eye," Chen Tinghai replied with pride. "Yes, our ancestral burial site uses the gold hidden beneath the pillow, designed to attract wealth."